This is Crusader Transport Simulator, a text-based hauling companion for Star Citizen. It's a command line app that runs alongside Star Citizen that you basically use to do trading and transportation contracts. You'll earn fake UEC by completing contracts, and you'll use that to buy more ships and get yourself out of debt. What you're going to do is basically fly between ports and rendezvous with other basically imaginary ships, load imaginary cargo onto your ship and deliver it to where it needs to go and earn imaginary UEC. Crusader Transport Simulator, or CTS, is a command line Node.js app that runs in a terminal window, and to use it, you'll either need to use it on a second computer or Alt-tab between it and Star Citizen. I run Star Citizen in a window, but I'm currently compositing the two windows together for this recording. First thing we're going to do is load our existing game. I have a current game with, it's called, I named the company Xenocorp, and I will basically tell the app where I spawn once I load into Crusader. Alright, looks like we spawned at Port Olisar. And CTS wants to know which strut we're at, because that's the strut that it's going to spawn our ship and everything at. Alright, it looks like we're at strut B. So let's head over to the ship terminals.
Welcome to the Port Olisar ship deck. Please press the screen to continue.
So, alt-tabbing over, I've got three ships. I've got my Aurora LX, my Cutlass Black, and my Drake Caterpillar. So let's spawn the Aurora LX. It's got a cargo capacity of 12 SCU. All the SCU values were taken from the old Hull B questionnaire, if folks remember that, with some gaps filled in. Alright, so our ship spawned at B08, so we'll tell CTS it's at B08. And then we'll run over there and hop in. So the one thing we'll be able to do while we're at the port is we're going to be able to see which contracts are available and accept some of those that we want. Alright, so contract-wise, there's 23 contracts available. At Port Olisar, they're divided between the admin office, Crusader Industries, and the Trade Development Division, which is sort of a grab-all for contracts from other larger corporations. So the admin office is basically contracts that can be done by your smaller ships. Those are your kind of like mom and pop contracts. So let's see what we've got. These contracts are basically to take a certain number of SCU from one of the quantum destinations to another. So we've got, let's see, that 96 SCU one looks a little big, but we've got, let's see, here's one, 10 SCU to go from Port Olisar to Yela. So let's check that out. Alright, so the Stanton Mining Collective wants us to take hydrogen fuel, 10 SCU from Port Olisar to Yela. Want us to meet the ship Eros 5, and we're going to pick it up actually at Strut A. I'll accept that for now. And one thing I might want to do is once we're out there is see if there's any other contracts we can pick up to do something on the way back. So going back to the admin office, to take 6 SCU from Comare 275 to Port Olisar. If we back out of here and check navigation, look at our Crusader map. We're going to be going to Yela, and from Yela we should be able to get through to 275. Crusader's pretty big and does block some of the quantum travel, so you just need to make sure you have a route. Alright, so let's do that. We'll grab the contract. Oh, except I forgot to mention, the contracts have expiries. So you see the Comare 275 to Port Olisar, that actually expires in an hour. So if I dig into it, we need to meet the RX-10D freelancer there, but it departs in an hour, so we're not going to get there in time unless we pick it up right now. And then that'll earn us, let's see, 502 UEC. So actually, let's accept that one. Because our first contract, we've got 18 hours to do that, but this one we've only got one. The way time advances, it's a little wacky, but every time you make a quantum jump, it just advances the in-game clock an hour. It just makes it feel a little bit more turn-based, and you're not worrying about the clock as much. Let's get over to Comare 275. All right. Tell CTS we entered our ship. And we're ready to roll.
Welcome to Robert Space.
So let's see, we want to go 275 to Port Olisar. Uh-oh.
Takeoff complete.
All right, well, looks like we took off. Luckily, Star Citizen still takes joystick input even while you're alt-tabbed. So even though I'm alt-tabbed into CTS, as long as I've got joystick commands bound, they'll work. The only downside is you don't get any audio. So, all right, let's get over to Comare 275. Checking out the map. It's to the, I guess, Crusader north of us. Grab it from the list. It's 83,000 kilometers. All right. Go into quantum mode and Star Citizen. Line up. And if I'm alt-tabbed, I can actually quantum both at the same time. So I'm going to quantum in Star Citizen, and then I'm going to initiate quantum travel in CTS. All right. So now that I've reached the Comare, luckily it's up. I'm going to need to rendezvous with this ship. So going to my contracts, loading the contract, it says I need to meet the RX-10D at Comare 275. And they're leaving now, so we better catch them. All right, so in the list, there it is, RX-10D. And what it says here is, so the way you meet ships in CTS is you need to get to the rendezvous point they're at, which is around the Comare. So it's 72 kilometers away from us, and it says 115,383 kilometers from Comare 306. What that means is if you started at Comare 275 and you went 72 kilometers towards Comare 306, your total distance, your final distance to Comare 306 would be 115,383. So because we can't actually meet an actual ship in Star Citizen, we're basically using this kind of waypoint method where you go to the Comare, you fly towards a different Comare, and then that's the rendezvous point. So let's do it. So I'm going to select that, and it asks if you're within 5 kilometers of the Comare. When you quantum in Star Citizen, you're basically always 5 kilometers away-ish from Comares. So I'll say yes, 5 kilometers. It says align towards 306, and then move towards it until I'm 115 away. So let's see, 306 is over there. You can burn towards it. And we've got to go 72 kilometers at full burn. So it does take a couple minutes, but it gives you time to enjoy the sights. We're waiting until it's 115,383, and we're currently at 115,442. So while we're burning towards it, can look at the. So while we're burning towards it, let me just talk about the Crusader system a little bit. So all the quantum points are in here. So Kovalex, Grimhex, Korea, the Comares, and Cryastros, and then ICC. So for most of them, you can travel directly. Obviously, Crusader blocks some of them, so that could impact your travel time. As far as the rendezvous go, so the way Stanton is currently set up is the cargo ships that meet you, if they're coming from inside the Stanton system, are actually going to be hitting the comm arrays that are closest to that direction. So the cargo ships from Microtech are going to be the like Stellar North-ish. The ones from Pyro are going to be like below Crusader. Obviously, these planets don't rotate; they're just text. But that's kind of depending on where your contracts are coming from. That's where you're going to meet them. And then as far as the other jump points go, Stanton has 3 jump points. It has a large jump point to both Magnus and Terra, and then a medium jump point to Pyro. So some of these locations can actually generate, have contracts that are generated. So for example, Drake Interplanetary's headquarters is on Borea. So there's quite a few contracts which are taking supplies to and from Stanton to Magnus. And then from anybody that needs Caterpillar parts, for example, they're going to be importing them from Magnus. Let's see what else. If we go back to the Stanton system, so Hurston Dynamics is a weapons manufacturer, so they're going to be shipping weapons to, say, the like Cryastros, Dumpers Depot, etc. ArcCorp they mainly make fusion engines, but there's a whole bunch of other stuff that they generate too. So, it's a factory world. So, for example, Korea imports personal weapons from ArcCorp. Terra Mills is headquartered. I think they're headquartered in Terra, but pretty much all the food that folks eat in Stanton, all the imported food, is coming from Terra Mills. So they're one of the manufacturers of Big Benny's. And then there's a couple ship manufacturers and ship repair stations. So they're going to be getting their ship electronics from Microtech. As for the contract that we're doing, let's see, we're actually taking Mobiglass. Port Olisar is having us take Mobiglasses from Microtech to Port Olisar. We're going to deliver them to Strut C. All right, and it's only 6 SUs. So that actually only fills up half our cargo hold. So if we had more room in our cargo hold, we could definitely fit more. Oh geez, I totally blew way past the rendezvous. That's embarrassing. So let me just flip around and we'll do it. You need to be within, if I tried to rendezvous now, and I said I was 115,341, I have to be 10 kilometers or less away. Okay, so we're almost back at the rendezvous, traveling backwards at high speeds. Alright, so we're almost at the rendezvous. We can decelerate our plucky little Aurora. And then I like to couple just so that the game keeps the throttle at 0. Then I'll punch in the rendezvous. It's 115,382.4 kilometers. Alright, so if we've gotten it like exactly, we're basically at the Freelancer, we can dock right away, but here it'll actually take 5 seconds to arrive because it's got to travel a kilometer to get to us. Alright, so we're ready to dock. We'll dock it. Our ship speed is 0 meters a second. The Aurora has external cargo, so it means we don't have to actually like get out of our seat and open a hold, but if we were in another ship, we would have to do that. Like a Cutlass, anything with an internal hold. So let's look in its cargo. It's got 3 containers, Mobiglass. We'll transfer there's a little, use A and D to do it, a little slider, so we'll go all the way up to all 3 containers. It has sort of cargo locks that hold the cargo in place. So if we disengage those cargo locks, we can then move the Mobiglass containers over. Mobiglass is aboard. We can undock and figure out where we need to go next. Contract says Port Olisar Strut C. So let's do that. Let's select Port Olisar and Quantum. So we're going to Strut B. So we'll select Strut B, request a landing pad assignment, and it'll tell us to land at BO2. You can also pick your own pad manually, or if somebody's blocked, you can just keep requesting a pad until you get one that works. So let's hop over to 2.
Landing gear deployed. Landing request approved. Landing complete.
Alright, well, that was a little hard, but we landed. Alright, let's drop this cargo off. So we landed, and then we can take these 3 containers. 12 seconds, alright, transfer them to Port Olisar. Now, the contracts are always sort of, alright, so now we can actually complete that contract. So we hop in, oops. Strut C, oh, dang it. And it's late, because, darn. Yeah, so the contract basically expires when the people you're picking up from leave, so we're not going to get an on-time completion bonus, we're only going to get the base payout. And like an idiot, I took it to the wrong port. So we'll transfer it back. You can see on the cargo screen, if I was paying attention, it says the destination of the cargo on here. So if I'd been paying attention, I'd see, hey, it's destination for Strut C, but I did it at B. So let's put the cargo back aboard. And fly over to Strut C.
Takeoff complete.
Alright, Strut C, request a landing pad, C05. Looks clear.
Landing request approved. Landing request approved. Landing complete.
Alright, now that we've actually landed at the right port, we'll transfer this cargo to where it actually needs to go, the Signature Personal Digital Assistive Technology. Turn off our cargo locks and transfer it over. All right, so we can go over to our contract and complete it. It is late, so we're only going to get 172 UEC. And one thing to note, because of the debts I took out when I started this company, our debt is going up 4,900 UEC a day. All right, so let's look at what our available contracts are. Some Comare ones, Port Olisar to Kovalex. Some Crusader security contracts, and then a whole bunch in the TDD. So if we want to do one of those larger contracts, we need to bust out our Caterpillar. But for now, let's take our 10 SCU to Yela. So we need to go back. We need to go back to Strat A. So we'll take off. We'll just dodge the Starfare. Traffic collisions are somewhat of an issue.
Landing request approved. Landing complete.
There's sometimes your throttle control on the landing pad is a little touchy. All right, we're landed. So I'm actually going to manually choose the pad because I landed at pad AO2. Landed at pad AO2. All right, let's pick up that cargo. So we've got 10 containers of hydrogen fuel. Fill her up. So this contract we're going to so Yela and Crusader are large, and to go to a specific point, you need to do a basically a waypoint. So, all right, let's take off. Okay, so we'll check our contract. It's via Comare 730, and we want the Eros 5. So what that means is we're going to travel to Comare 730, and then from there go to Yela, and then that'll spit us out right where the Eros 5 is. So we'll select Com 730. It should be, yeah, right about there, and travel.
Initiated.
All right, then we'll head over to Yela. Should be to our right. And so from here, we'll give the fuel over to the Eros 5.
Travel complete.
All right, Eros 5 says it's 97. We have to go 47 kilometers towards Comare 306. So we're within 5 kilometers of where we got spat out. It's important because you need to be at the start point to then go in a straight line. All right, so we're going to align to Com 306. It should be... Where is Com 306? Oh, it's back towards Port Olisar. All right. And let's burn towards it. we're going 97670. Get our full 450 burn. $97670. Okay. Probably a good time to hop in and check out the company log. So, wall of text, but the company log basically tells you how you're doing. When the game starts out, you're basically given a loan, and you've got a certain number of days to pay it back. So we took out $150,000 credit loan. We've got 30 days to pay it back. So at the end of the term, your company is basically loses its license unless you pay back the loan, and you have a positive net worth, and you have at least one ship. That's so you can't just sell your ship to pay off the loan. So basically, if you're a good company, you'll get to keep operating and you keep playing. So the main components of that, also of your score, for your score to be positive, your net worth is basically your credits plus the value of your ships minus your debt, but then you also get points for SCU delivered to and from Crusader, and then contracts completed for either Crusader Industries or Security. All right, let's see if we... 670, okay, almost at the rendezvous. 673, Aurora takes a little while to slow down, so we'll just get it early. And 670.9, right. Couple. And rendezvous. 97670.9. All right, it'll take 8 seconds to get here. It's an Aurora CL, so we're doing an Aurora to Aurora dock right here. The docking is a little abstracted. Obviously, there's... in Star Citizen, you won't actually be able to dock ships with docking collars together for a while, but this is how we're doing cargo transfer in CTS, just to make things easy. So we're docking with the Eros 5. We're at 0 meters a second. All right, let's give him that fuel. So the Stanton Mining Collective is a group of folks that are mining Yela, even though the base that's there has fallen into disarray. So one of the things that they need is fuel and other supplies. They need people to basically fly them into Yela and deliver them, so they can keep on mining. You can get their jobs at Olisar, but they're also pretty common if you manage to make it over to Grimhax. All right. We gave them the containers. We can undock. And complete that contract with 14 hours to spare. All right, we're getting 660 UEC and 280 for doing it on time. Nice. All right, so I think if we want to try something a little bigger, let's go pick up our Caterpillar. And let's quantum to Olisar and go grab it. Since we're not actually picking up or dropping off, the strut doesn't matter. One thing is to actually look at the list of contracts. You have to actually be landed at a port and connected to their systems. There's probably some, IT security implications for why I can't just get it over the wire. Maybe port OSR systems are old and busted. All right, let's land at strut D. Oh, and they put me at DO2. That's perfect.
Landing gear deployed.
Drop our gear.
Landing request approved. Landing complete.
Alright, now that we're here, we can visit the port. One of the things you can do at port, or there's a couple things that can only be done at port. One is buying and spawning ships in and out of your hangar, and the other one is repaying debt. So to repay your debt, you are essentially getting hooked up with the Crusader Industries loan sharks. They gave you your loan in the first place, and you are going to repay it that way.
Welcome to the Port Olisar ship deck. Please press the screen to continue.
So let's actually move our LX back to the hangar. Of course, in Star Citizen, it's going to actually be sitting on the pad, but the game will actually clean it up in a little bit. So we'll grab our Caterpillar. Spawn it in game. Of course, it's going to spawn at D00. It's the only size 5 pad.
Currently being delivered to the launch platform.
We can take this opportunity to repay a little debt. So, of course, we're almost 500,000 credits in the hole, but if we want to decrease that amount that it's going to tick over every day, we can do that from here. So let's, we'll pay off 1,600 credits worth of debt. I think that's about how much we earned. Also, if we wanted to buy a ship, heading the purchase, like let's say we wanted, we wanted an Aurora CL. When you buy it, it has a purchase price which is equal to the UEC price that Star Citizen has, but the minimum you need to pay is a down payment, and the rest will just get added to your debt. So, for example, as long as I put 9,000 down, which is 20%, the game will happily give me another 36,000 in debt. So let's not buy one of those, but that is an option if we wanted to do it. Let's go get our Caterpillar. Alright, now that we're in here, let's check out the contracts. So if we hop into the TDD, there's still 9. Let's see, there's only one Port Olisar pickup, that is going to Comray 625. There's also there's a Cryastro pickup too, so let's grab that one actually. Contract number 6. Let's see, we've got 7 hours to do it. To 7 jumps basically to get to Cryastro and then get to Com 306. See, Dumpers Depot wants us to grab 176 SCU of ship scrap, take it from Cryastro, and then drop it off at Caterpillar, and then that's going to take it to ArcCorp. Alright, so let's accept this and get on the road. See, we're going to Cryastro 42. One thing about the Caterpillar in version 2.6.3, it can't take off vertically on the pad. You have to take off like a runway. Definitely a bug. All right, Cryastro 42, which is directly in front of us, luckily.
Quantum drive is now off.
All right, let's get over to the pad. Okay, there's at Cryastro there's a large pad in the bottom, and then some smaller pads at the top. So I think we got to go up and over. Actually, we can go down from the bottom. Also, I think we've got a stowaway that I can hear.
Welcome to Cryastro Station. What can we do for you today? Cryastro offers competitive rates on quantum fuel. Would you like to refill your tank?
Speaking of refueling, one thing is the UEC you earn in CTS can't be used to refuel your ship, so you have to pay for that on your own. There's our pad.
Landing gear down. Attention. System is overheating.
Caterpillar's a little long for this pad. It's actually a size 4, so you just kind of have to wing it when you land. And we've got a turret gunner. hopefully we don't have to pay for all that damage they're causing. All right. They've got 11 containers of this ship scrap. So the Caterpillar actually has different cargo modules. So we're gonna load it into. We'll start out with load number 1. So for ships with internal cargo, you have to actually open the doors. So we're going to open the cargo bay doors. So we're open, module 1's open, and we'll transfer our ship scrap in. Sounds like our turret gunner's getting out. Alright, let's fill up the next module. So the Caterpillar is supposed to have 512 SCU. So to determine the hold sizes, basically use some estimates from the Caterpillar blueprints, and then figured out how much each one of these holds would hold, and then put everything else in the front module. Alright, we got one container left. That's kind of annoying. So we'll put it in module 3. Doors open. Alright, we're going to Comrade 306. So if we check our map, we're like right there, so this should be a piece of cake.
Complete. Launch complete. Landing gear up.
Should be to our left. There's 849. Oh, and there's 306. Here we go.
Now on. Quantum drive is
Alright, our contract says Kovalex 783, another Caterpillar. So we're within 5. Okay, we're going 38 kilometers towards Comrade 275. One thing that determines the payouts for these jobs, there's basically a rate the base rate that you get for your cargo deliveries per distance. So there's a rate for every 100,000 kilometers, and then there's a bonus rate which is based on how important the job is, and that's just per SCU on the job. So if we load this contract, that 1783 SCU, that's based on the distance between Cryastro and Com 306, and then that 1056 is just because it's a medium priority job. So we got 115417, so another 15 or so kilometers to go. Alright, slow this sucker down. I forget how many kilometers it takes to slow down fully. Alright, couple to stop. Do a rendezvous. It's 115, 416.8. I think we got it exactly. Yep, we got here. We don't even have to wait for them to get here. So, rendezvous. Dock with them. Okay, now the tricky part. The Caterpillar does have a bug where sometimes when you get out of the seat, you'll get flung into space. So luckily we're stopped, but we'll see if it happens. Alright, I was lucky. Alright, let's start with Module 1. Open her up. Hopefully the stowaway doesn't actually steal the ship while we're transferring. But it could happen. It's actually a pretty view. One nice thing about the Caterpillar size is you can actually carry cargo from a bunch of different jobs in the different containers. So it's got enough that you can kind of hop around and do pickups and drop-offs and all sorts of things. All right. Module 3. That last pesky one. All right. Looks like we got it. On-time completion. All right, I think that's basically it. So yeah, let's head back to Olisar. Oops, forgot to undock. That does happen. Yeah, let's land this sucker and put it back in the hangar. Let's do strut D. I think the pad's empty. Yep. Oh, actually, I think
Landing
I missed a little bit.
request approved. Landing complete.
Alright, hard landing, but we did it. That's it. Let's visit the port. And there it is. There's the clipping out of your caterpillar. But that's Crusader Transport Simulator. If you're interested, you can pick it up on the GitHub. I've got a link down in the description. Because it's actually running on a Node server, you have to actually install Node.js just to get this thing running. And so it can be a bit of a pain, but there's guides on there. So I don't know, give it a shot. Let me know what you think. If you have any suggestions or ideas for feedback, feel free to hit me up. And hopefully I will make a shorter and or better video out of this. But yeah, thanks for watching, and see you in the verse.